Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Hello. I've got an amazing episode for you. I really like the fact that you guys are loving these interviews that I'm doing with clients, and today I'm sharing Liz on how she went from 1K to 5K a month, and she's been sold out in a 6-week in-person event, 50 people in it. It's incredible, and I love to share success stories because sometimes if we don't hear what else is possible, what other people are creating, we don't make it happen in our lives. So hopefully you find this inspiring and you get to have similar and even greater results because you deserve it. Enjoy. Here we are. I am excited today. I have an amazing guest. We are going to be chatting about how her business went from 1,000 to 5,000 by being part of the Sold Out Business Academy, by having a virtual assistant with us. All the magic happened, and I'm very excited to be able to share with you, because sometimes when you are on the outside and you're trying to do business on your own, you wonder, how does other people do it? What is the secret? So if you guys are here and you would like to get your business from 1,000 to 5,000, just say 5K in the chat. Just say 5K as you're joining us today. We've got lots of you already here watching. Thank you so much for joining me today. Lots of things are happening in our businesses, and I'm excited today to share this stage with the one and only Liz Del Borello. Hi, Liz.
Good morning, Francesca, and hi, everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh my goodness, it's so good to have you here, and I love your story. I want to tell everything about you to everybody. So let's start from the beginning. Who is Liz Del Borello, and how did you start this amazing business? Tell us all about it.
Awesome. So hi everybody. I'm Liz Del Borello. I'm a leadership coach and trainer, and I'm actually based in Perth, but I work with clients globally and nationally as well. So I work with experienced and emerging leaders to help them get clarity in their career and their life. But how did I get there? That's a great question, and I tell my story all the time, FM, because I really want to inspire people to follow their purpose. So
show them what's possible, right? When we share our story, we can share to people like, wait a minute, like if this crazy talented lady has done it, if Liz has done it, come on, definitely I can do it too, right? So I love for us to share that. So thank you for inspiring us.
Yeah. So sort of when I spent 25 years in corporate Australia, I was basically on the treadmill, just putting one foot in front of the other. I'd lost focus of my passion. I'd completely wasn't working with a purpose. And I just was really getting frustrated by leaders who didn't know how to lead me. And from there, it was just absolutely frustrating, and I couldn't stand it any longer. And I did quite the dramatic mic drop and left corporate Australia, but I left corporate Australia with a clinical diagnosis of burnout. So I spent the journey of taking 6 months off to just get myself emotionally right. And then I decided to take my pain and turn it into my purpose. And now I'm a certified leadership coach, helping other leaders to be more purpose-driven and people-focused, and think about how amazing would the workplace be if all the bosses were focused on their people. So that's my purpose in life, is to coach and amplify purpose-driven and people-focused leaders.
Oh my goodness, what a beautiful story. And burnout is a real thing, right? We go and put all our efforts, and do you agree with that? Do you think that burnout is also happens when we're not aligned with what we're doing, right? When we're not following our purpose. Do you believe that?
Absolutely. And this is one of the things that I do with my clients one-on-one, is that it's really something about knowing who you are and what you stand for. So having clarity on your values, having clarity on your purpose. And quite often when my clients get that icky feeling in their belly that something's not quite right in their job, it's because their personal values and the company's values are not in alignment. And when that happens, you get that icky feeling. So it's really important that my clients understand what their values are. And I'm going to take people that are at your conference through that journey as well from the stage.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, Liz. And the thing is this, right? So people always come to me like, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid of being burnt out. I worked so hard in the past job and blah, blah. And I'm like, wait a minute, you can't be burnt out when you love what you're doing.
And the other thing that's really important for people to recognize is you need to actually have clear boundaries. What are your personal boundaries? And making sure that you communicate that clearly in the workplace, at home, and then just making sure that you hold those boundaries too. So I know for me, I was working incredibly long hours. I was unsupported by my leaders, even though I'd asked their help more than once. And it's just really about, knowing your people, knowing them well enough to know when something is out of character with them. And that was my journey. And I share my journey with people to help them try and avoid that burnout as well.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear your story again. So listen, I want to know this. So you left corporate, 6 months, burnout and all, and then you decided to start a business. And how did you make this business work?
Yeah, so the inspiration I'd had in the back of my mind a business idea for a little while. So what happened is when I closed all the tabs in my brain, so close down all the tabs that you've got going when you're working in corporate land, the ideas came to me. And as you said, FM, like, burnout is real. Some days I was only capable of getting out of bed, making myself breakfast and sitting on the couch and reading. I was that exhausted mentally and physically and emotionally. But when I was able to close the tab down, do the work with a therapist, I actually came up with the business idea, and it happened organically. And I thought, no, for years people had told me, you should do your own thing, Liz, you should do your own thing, you should run your own business. But I had a block in my mind, Francesca. I had a block where I would say, I never enjoy the work that I give consultants. When I think about the work that I give to consultants, it's all the rubbish jobs. And I like the really exciting strategic jobs. But I had a block. I had a block in my mind, in my mindset around starting a business.
What was the block?
The block was that I'm a corporate person. I've been in corporate 25 years. I don't know how to run a business. So, and who was I? And then once I actually started the process of getting the business set up, I kind of had this, and I had another mindset issue where I just kind of I was stifled by fear. So I was scared. There was a fear of failure, fear of success. And it was quite and I found it quite interesting to have to work through that mindset block, because I sat with it for about 3 weeks and couldn't quite figure out what was going on, because I had my website ready. I had my business cards printed. All I needed to do was press go and go live. And I couldn't. I was hesitant. And I thought to myself, I've been doing this job for 25 years for everybody else. Why can't I do this job now for me? So I kind of went, well, look, my mindset, my inner critic is saying, you're going to fail, you're going to fail. But then I thought to myself, well, look, if I don't tell anyone, I will fail. So why don't I just tell everyone and see what happens? It's not going to be any worse. So I just parked my inner critic and pushed through and started my business.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And this is the thing, it's real, right? When you sell for someone else, when you do business for someone else, it seems so much easier, right? It seems like a walk in the park, like, oh my gosh, like, it can't be that difficult. And then when you have to sell it for yourself, you're like, oh, now this is hard. Now, how do I do it? Like, there's so many more fears, because we sometimes define as like, I'm selling myself rather than selling your product or service. Like, now it becomes us. It becomes one and only, and it's so difficult to separate them. So what happened from there? Like, how did you, obviously you told us how you get started, but how did you continue? How did you make success? How did you went from $1,000 to $5,000 in your business?
So when I first started, Francesca, if I'm being honest, I wasn't treating it like a business. I was treating it like a hobby. I was going, I had no idea how to win clients. I had no idea to get consistent work. So I was getting referrals, which was lovely, but $1,000 a month is not enough to pay the bills. So I kind of thought I was dipping in and out of contract work to try and make up the extra cash. And then something just resonated with me when we met. And that was, I need a community. I need people around me to support me and who are like-minded and want to build a successful business. And then I also realized that I really no one had taught me how to run a business. So I was looking for systems and processes and strategies. So when our paths crossed and I met you, I thought, yeah, this is it. This is the community that is going to help me and support me. And this is the systems and the processes and the procedures and the scripts and everything that I need to actually get moving. So, and that works for me because I'm very system oriented. So that's how I made the shift, is when we met. And I still had my own mindset issues happening at that point too, Francesca. I joined you, and then I sat there and just watched for 4 months. I did nothing. I just observed, and I thought, I had the inner critic rolling in my head saying, this isn't going to work for you. This is not the right process. This is,
oh my gosh, let's dive into that, right? Because why do you think that our brain says, oh, it's working for everybody else, I can see that it's a procedure and a process for everybody else, but it's not going to work for me? Why do you think our brain does that?
Yeah, it's curious. It just tries to protect us. So I know that inner critic is saying, be safe, be secure, don't do this. If you don't do it, you'll be safe. But I knew that I wanted to help people. So it's like, actually, I have to take action. And I'm so accustomed to taking action in my corporate career. Why can't I do it here? So it was beautiful that I was able to meet with one of your coaches and have a really honest conversation, and then start to take action. And when I started to take action, I started to get clients coming in. So yeah, wow. For me, it's really going, actually, what is the inner critic saying? Why is it that I'm frozen? What is the fear? What is the anxiety that's sitting there?
And the thing is this, right? The more we are frozen, the more we're going to prove ourselves right. It's not going to work.
Absolutely. And it's that, just having that conversation, acknowledging the inner critic and saying, actually, I hear you. You're not talking out of fact. You're talking out of fear. So I'm going to ignore you, and I'm going to take action anyway, because who knows if I'll be successful or not. I won't ever know unless I take that step in and lean into the process. So it was quite the journey of actually listening to the inner voice and actually saying, I hear you, I acknowledge you, it's not fact, and actually I'm going to just ignore you. And I have a name for my inner voice. And if you've got sensitive ears, block them. I call her the chatty bitch.
I love it.
I actually had to say, I hear you, chatty one, but I'm going to ignore you because you're not talking about fact. You're talking from a place of fear, and I'm going to just move past that. And every time that comes up for me, I just have to remind myself that it is my inner protection system trying to protect me.
Okay, so I love that. So let's talk about this, right? So you had fears. What was the fear about? Like doing social media, doing posts, doing live, doing your events. What was the biggest fear that you had?
All of them. Geez, that's pretty much all of them. I think fundamentally what was, when I unwrapped the feeling, it was fear of being judged by others. So my mindset was going, okay, who are you to get out there and talk about you, talk about leadership, talk about your journey? Who are you to actually go out there and talk to people and help other people? So
I am Liz Del Borello.
I know.
21.
I know. It was that whole, it's not logical. So when I sat back, I thought, I've been doing this for 25 years to everyone else in corporate land. I absolutely know what I'm doing. I know my journey. I've had lived experience. So just being able to actually stop that coming from that place of fear and being able to move through it. But yes, it was fear of success and fear of what people would think of me, and also fear of failure. What happens if I do all of this and nothing happens? And very
we choose to not make it happen, so that definitely is not going to happen.
Absolutely. But very quickly, once I leaned in and just kept following the process, the clients came. And it happened really quickly for me. So within 2 months of joining the academy, I was fully sold out.
But you were not an overnight success, because you said for 4 months doing anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is the thing that people think, like, it's like it happened very quickly, but did it? Because for 4 months you said you didn't do anything, but I don't believe that, because you're an action taker. So you were studying, you were looking at things, you were still putting knowledge into your head inside of my academy while you were deciding what resonates, what doesn't resonate. Am I right to say that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I, one of the things that I pride myself on doing is I did every single training module, hundreds of hours of training. I did it all. And that's kind of,
The academy. So you joined the Sold Out Business Academy when?
so I joined originally, I beg your pardon, in January last year. And then I upgraded in June. And that's when the magic started to happen for me.
So this is the thing, right? So usually they say people that pay little money, pay little attention. And it wasn't even little money because the first workshop with us was about $4,000, right? For 4 months. So it wasn't even little money, but then you committed to an even bigger investment. And that's when things started to move. So how did you make that step of going, I've been here for 4 months and I haven't, because this is the biggest thing that a lot of people say, I've been in this academy for 4 months. If I haven't done anything now, it's never going to happen if I invest into the next program. So I'm just not going to do anything. I'm going to stay here until I make this happen. And then guess what? They don't make it happen, because if they haven't done anything by themselves with us in 4 months, they're not going to do it by themselves. So what was the thing that made you go from, I sit on here and I didn't do anything for 4 months. What is going to make me change that?
Yeah. So, and it's a very curious question, because I'm not entirely sure what inspired me, except my inner Italian that went, you've spent $4,000 and you're going to lose that money. You need to kind of you need to take action and start moving. So initially I was upset with myself. I was angry with myself because I had let that many months pass without really leaning into the process. So initially I was angry with myself for what I deemed at that point to be wasting my money. And then I went to one of your workshops and boot camps, and something just clicked in my mind. And it was really about reminding myself to take action and reminding myself what would happen if I was excuseless, if I didn't have excuses.
Excuseless. Oh my gosh, I love that training, remember?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, that really was, if I start, what do I need to do to get out of my own way? And that was to start taking action. And I know how to take action, because I wouldn't have kept a 25-year corporate career if I didn't know how to take action, because it is all about delivery. So I just got out of my way. I removed the blocks and started doing the process. 6 weeks after I started getting serious, I had my first event. I had 30 people in the room for my first event.
First event, I love it.
My first event. And that slowly built. And every time I see my numbers, getting over 100 RSVPs and 50 people in the room, I kind of, my brain does kick into gear and goes, how do you keep doing this? How do you keep doing this? And I just have to say, shush, chatty one, just shush. Because, I just have to keep showing up, being authentic, doing what feels good for me and what I know will help the leaders in the Perth community. And if I just keep doing that, people will come, they'll decide if they want to join, and they decide if they want to stay.
I love it. So let's explain to everybody. So part of the Sold Out Business Academy, we teach business owners like Liz to use social media organically to grow your following, and then bring people into a live event, like a face-to-face networking event where you bring people together. And that's what Liz exactly done. So we teach you how to fill up the room. We teach you how to get people, connected with you. And we teach you how to then use those photos to show people that you have an audience. So we teach you the whole process. But the thing is, we taught that for over 450 business owners in the last 9 years. Do everybody get the results that Liz is getting? No. So Liz, what is your secret? What is the thing that you're doing to get those amazing numbers? You're getting 100 RSVP in Perth in your live event. Like, wait a minute. Like the last event you had over 50 people, am I right?
Yeah, 55. So yeah, the numbers are growing steadily. So it's, so honestly, Francesca, it's just doing. So you give us the process and I follow the process, and it's about consistency. So, showing up on social media, using all the organic strategies that you teach, and doing it consistently. So, this week is, if anyone's listening back to this and you're in Perth, my next event's on the 18th of May. So this Thursday.
Sure, there you go. Put it in calendar.
We'll pop a link in the comments a bit later. But yeah, it's really, it's 4 weeks on Thursday from my event. So we'll start the process of promoting. And actually, I start the process from the stage. So at my last event, I will promote this event. So I already have 20 RSVPs from the people that came along.
And that's number one tip that we give, and that's the first thing that people don't do, right? At your event, you got to promote the next event, because when you promote an event, you get the peak of tickets as soon as the event happens, and then you get a drop, and then you're gonna pick again just probably a couple of weeks before the event. So we need to leverage on those things. I can see a lot of you watching this. If this is a dream of yours to run events and get amazing results, just put dream events. I want to see how many of you are watching this go like, should I start to be running events for my own business? Like, why am I not doing that? Because how do you leverage on that, Liz? You getting clients from those events? Tell me more.
Yeah, so it's definitely, for me, initially brand building. It's just building your reputation and getting that social proof, but also making the connection, because we're human and we want to do business with people that we like and people that we respect. So initially, definitely it was a little bit more about building brand, but yes, I have been getting clients. So it's been amazing. And you see that you build trust with people. So about 40% of my audience is repeat people. So people that are coming back, enjoying the content, enjoying the format and coming along. So it's super exciting. So I get a real buzz when I am in the room preparing, and I can hear the crowd outside. I can hear people laughing. I can hear people telling stories, and just the energy that comes from people talking to each other. And I know that they're making connections, and business is all about connections. It's all about not necessarily what you know, but who you know. And especially in Perth, there's a tight-knit business community. So the more network, the more frequently that you network, the better you're going to get in your business. So I get that buzz of actually leaving the event room and walking out and hearing everybody talking. It warms my heart that people are connecting. And then they're also having the ability to learn. So I teach from the stage as well. So there's a component of learning as well as a component of networking.
I love it. I love it. And so you got your business by following the strategy. So you have your organic strategy on social media, get people to follow you, then they come to your event, and then from there they become clients, right? Or from either social media, they book a call with you and then they become clients. And so this process is something that is very strong and it works for you, and it got your business from going from 1,000 to 5,000. You 4x your income this financial year alone.
Yeah. So I just hit 3x in last quarter. So I'm just, by the end of this financial year, I will have quadrupled my revenue from the business.
Oh my goodness. Everybody, come on. Just give a congratulations to Liz in the chat. Go ahead. I know, right? Amazing. Everybody is going like, oh my gosh. So then you got a virtual assistant to help you support you as well from us, right?
Yeah, I did. So I got, because I like rules and I like to follow them, I followed the process. And then I very quickly realized that there's just too much. And I always remind my clients to do the parts of their role that they enjoy and do more of that and less of the stuff that they don't enjoy. So I found myself, it was, I think, the story that we got started with, Francesca, is that I was at my desk at 10 o'clock at night, sending a contract to a client, and I'd had tonsillitis 2 weeks earlier. So I'd been working so hard that my body gave me tonsillitis. And then 2 weeks after that, I was at my computer again at 10 o'clock sending a contract. And I messaged you that exact moment and said, let's talk about getting an assistant. Because I was simply burning the candle at both ends. And I know I've led teams for 20 years. So I know how important it is to have support with you. So it's been absolutely phenomenal. And Nina, hello, she's online.
Hi, Nina.
Love working with you. And it's really about, what are my strengths and where is my time best spent? And my time is best spent on money-making activities. And I can have a team that supports me with my social media and my marketing and my admin. And that's absolutely what my assistant does. So 4 months into getting serious with the academy, I reached out and said, let's talk about an assistant. And here we are.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, I love that story. So you started with Nina part-time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing, like sometimes we're waiting until like, oh, I won't get a virtual assistant until I can only get it full time, or until all these things that happen. Instead, getting a virtual assistant will help you to make things even more streamlined, even more scale your business, even taking things to a whole new level. So I absolutely adore your story, and I love it. That's so exciting. So Liz, someone watching this and they're wondering, okay, I can do business by myself. I don't have any problems with that. I just don't need any help from anybody. What would you tell them?
The quicker you can delegate, the better. Your money, your time is best spent on money-making activities. So you need to delegate like a fiend. Delegate, delegate, delegate. And that's what we do in corporate land. So why should it be any different in your business? So the sooner that you can set aside the tasks that don't add value and give them to someone that's reliable, then you will absolutely fly. I've got so many hours back in my business. I've got my energy levels are much higher, my stress levels are much lower, and I just know that it's making a difference to someone else by having a VA as well.
I love it. And what about the academy? Could you have done all of this that you've done without the support of the coaches in the academy and the support that you get in there?
Absolutely not. So for such a long time, I was struggling to find my community, struggling to find my inner circle. So I went to a number of events in Perth and like, these are not my people, these are not my people. So for a year and a half, I couldn't find my spirit people. I couldn't find my community. And I've absolutely found that in the Sold Out Business Academy. Other leaders that are trying to build a sustainable business and that are following the same process, and that's absolutely priceless.
I love it. That is absolutely amazing. So Liz, we've got 1 minute left. If people are watching this and are like, oh my gosh, I'm falling in love with Liz and energy, I wanted to be my coach, help me to get my career to the next level, what would you say to them? How can they reach out to you? How they can be part of what you do?
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask Nita to magically pop our details in. If you're in Perth, come along to my event. If you want to work with me, you can absolutely check our website at chiefreputationofficer.com.au. And I only have a limited amount of spaces this year, Francesca, because as you know, I'm transitioning my business.
Yes.
So super, super exciting. But, and actually I'm giving away an amazing prize at the conference too.
Oh,
I'm giving someone the opportunity to work with me one-on-one for 6 sessions. And
wow.
It's valued at over $2,000, and it's going to be the last opportunity, one of the last opportunities for someone to work with me this year, because I'm at capacity. I'm sold out. So
wow.
super, super exciting. But definitely pop in. If you're in Perth, come along to our event. Nina will pop the details in the chat. Join my group, Leaders Lounge, so my private community. Come along. I'm going to be starting my training next Wednesday. Come along. I'm going to have a session on setting smart goals. So come along and be part of that. And you can only do that if you're in my private group.
I love it. Amazing. Well, everybody, I wanted to help me thank Liz for her time and her knowledge and her inspiring story. Liz and I have big believers that if we did it, everybody can. I believe that about myself. And I don't know, you agree with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Action cures fear.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for your time. Congratulations for all your successes. I love hearing stories like that of people that have made their dream come true by leaning into fears and just asking for help and just making things happen. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you have enjoyed this podcast, then you're definitely going to love our Coaches 10K kit. I have created this specifically for you to show you how to get your first 10K. This is an incredible bundle that I created where you get unlimited access, like literally lifetime access to 2 of my main courses where I show you exactly how to get to your 10K a month. You're going to absolutely love this, but on top of this, there is also a sneak peek inside of my Sold Out Business Academy. 7 days where you get to really try out and watch all the things that you can and really get the gist of what we do inside of the Sold Out Business Academy. This is priceless. I am so excited to have you joining this. I mean, it's only $197 at the moment, so please make sure that you check the description and the show notes to see if this offer is still available. But you guys need to go and come and check it out. Check the description for the link and go and join our Coaches 10K Kit. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next episode.